Hello everyone, this is the second part of examination strategy videos. My name is Karan and I am a chartered accountant based in Mumbai. In this video, I'll be speaking on the sequence in which you should be studying chapters on the actual exam days and what are the few important topics or questions. So let's begin. If you have seen part 1 of the examination strategy videos, you would know that your final revision of IDT would be done by 29th of June and you will start with FR on 30th of June. So for FR, first begin with Ind AS 102 share based payments. It is a very important topic and do expect one question from share based payments. Next, do the four asset related Ind AS. So Ind AS 16, 38, 36 and 40. Do this four of them together as they are interconnected. And you can get one question from one of these four Ind AS. Follow it up with Ind AS 2 inventories, and to end the day you can do Ind AS 41, that is agriculture. On 1st July morning, start with Ind AS 116, that is leases. A very important topic from examination point of view. Follow it up with Ind AS 105 and then do three topics which are interconnected. So Ind AS 8, 10 and 37. These three Ind AS are such that they can be mixed with other Ind AS also. So you can expect a small 5-mark question from one of these either separately or combined with other Ind AS. On 2nd July, start with financial instruments. It's a very important topic, huge topic, and one which has relevance in some way or the other throughout the syllabus. So do this nicely, and one question short will come from this. Next, do Ind AS 23, 19, 21 and 20. So I used to correlate this four with the age of CA aspirants. So 19, 20, 21 and 23, the time of your life which seems tough and tricky, but if you manage to do this well, your confidence and your career is shot up. So same with this four Ind AS. These can be tricky, especially Ind AS 19's defined benefit plan part. But if you do them really well, believe me, you will enter exam hall with lots of confidence. So do this four well and you will be in a much better position mentally. Next, on 3rd July, start with business combination and consolidation. You should know that these two topics are lengthy and one question does come either from consolidation or business combination. It is possible that both of them can also be asked and it will make the paper very lengthy. Many students fear these two topics and skip them. Don't make such mistake. See, there are not more than 5 to 6 different types of questions in consolidation which are given in study material. In May 2018 exams, May 19 exams and even in November 2019 exams, one type of question was asked which was consolidation at the start of the year. Yes, it can have one or two tricky adjustments, but the rest is solvable. In November 2018 exams, they had asked a chain subsidiary question. So, for example, A holds 80% in B and then B holds 75% in C. So that type of question. It was pretty straightforward and right from the module. Don't be surprised if you see chain subsidiary question in your question paper. Idea is not to leave entire topic, at least do the questions which are given in SM and do them well and you will be good to go. Of the 15-mark question, you can easily score 8 to 10 marks even if you can't get the tough adjustments correct. After completing those two, complete Ind AS 12, income taxes, and then chapter 2 of the module which has Ind AS 1, 34 and 7. Ind AS 7 cash flow statement is not that tricky but important. On 4th July, start with Ind AS 115, another important topic, and one question most likely is going to be asked from this. Next, do Ind AS 33 and 108. These are asked once in a while. And then you have 24, 113, and 101. I won't rate this, I won't rate them as important, but don't skip. Have a look at SM questions. On the exam day, do chapter 15, which is analysis of financial statements. This chapter is basically all Indias put together and has case study questions. So one question generally contains 3 to 4 Indias. So that's why you should do this in the end, once you have completed everything, as it acts as a good exam warm up and you start recollecting everything. ICAI does ask one question from this chapter. Finally, do small theory kind of chapters. So, chapter 1, 16, and 17 of the module. In the final 2 hours before exam, have a look at those questions that you have marked as LMR, which is last minute revision, and any other important points that you want to see in the end. One reason to give 5 days before FR is that it is your first paper. There will be nerves and you want the first paper to go really good. So, because well begun is half done. If FR goes well, you will be in a good zone for rest of the 7 papers. And if you will see, I have spread most important topics throughout the 5 to 6 days. So, share-based payments, consolidation and business combinations, leases, Ind AS 115, financial instruments, and asset-related Ind AS like PPE, intangibles, impairment. These are the most crucial topics, and I have spread them over 5 to 6 days. So, do them well, and you will be good to go. So once you are back from the FR paper, eat your food, relax for an hour, and don't think about the paper. You can't go back and change what is written. So forget about it. Watch something fun, or if you are feeling low, talk with someone who can motivate you. But don't keep thinking about it. In that 1 hour of relaxed time, keep FR books aside in the cupboard and open up the SFM books. I am assuming that SFM will be on 7th July. So on 5th of July, you should target to study at least 3 hours. And in that time, you can complete mutual funds, chapter 12, that is corporate valuations, and chapter 13, which is M&A. If you are not able to complete chapter 13, you can continue it the next day morning. On 6th, you should target to effectively study for at least say 16 hours. If you have anything left to be completed from M&A, do that first and start with chapter 9 Forex. Post that, do chapter 5 portfolio management, and then chapter 8, which is derivatives. Follow it up with chapter 10, which is international financial management, and at the end of the day you do chapter 3, that is security analysis. It is important from theory perspective as well, and also it has 2 important types of questions. So EMA and hypothesis testing question is very important from this chapter. On the exam day, target to study for at least about 8 hours. Cover chapter 4 first, which includes bond and equity valuation, and then chapter 11, which is interest rate derivatives related. Next, cover the theory related chapters. Don't skip these. Like theory questions have 20 marks and you can't write basic BCom level answers over here. You need to know the material. So ones which are highlighted in green are those wherein you are most likely to be asked the theory questions from. Chapter 2 has one important questions of value at risk as well. So don't miss that question. Do it well. In Forex, there is an amendment with regards to the period where forward contract gets automatically cancelled. Very, very important for May 21 and November 21 exams. Do check that again. And then At the end, you can do few LMR questions and the important points that you would have made a note of. Again, I am emphasizing, don't take theory chapters lightly in SFM. They have 20 marks, so do them properly. So once you are back from SFM paper, relax for about an hour and obviously don't think about the SFM paper. Keep SFM books aside and open up the audit books. I am assuming audit will be on 9th July. So on 7th of July, you should target to study at least 3 hours. And in that time, you can complete audit of PSUs, audit of NBFCs, audit committee and corporate governance, audit of consolidated financial statements, and liabilities of auditor. These are 5 small chapters which you can easily manage in 3 hours. On 8th morning, with fresh mind, start with professional ethics. This is the most important topic in audit. You should know clause, part, schedule, and exact wordings of the clause. At least 15 marks of paper comes from this topic, and I am saying this including MCQs. So professional ethics should be your best and the favorite topic in audit. Next, do audit under fiscal laws. Weightage is about say 8 to 10 marks. Your focus should be on the latest clauses that are added in the tax audit report, audit of trusts under Income Tax Act, and of course you can't ignore GST. Then company audit, in that CARO 2020 is very important. Follow it up with peer review and quality review, and then internal audit and due diligence related chapters. At the end of the day, do auditing in automated environment. Answers can be boring, but sometimes you get a 5-mark question from this chapter, so don't ignore. On exam day morning, start with standards on auditing, important series related. So 500, 600 and 700 series is the most important. Follow it up with audit of banks and insurance companies. Afterwards, do other essays which are say comparatively less important. So essay 299, 240, 265, 315, 330, 450 and 230. Then there is a chapter of audit report. See the audit report format in that. You may be asked a question on that. And finally, do a remainder of essays and any other miscellaneous topics. The reason that I would prefer doing essays in the end is that even if you miss one of them, the probability of that one showing up on your exam is very low. And also you would have some idea regarding what that essay talks about. So you can still attempt the question. I personally had skipped most of essays. Yes, it is a risk, but essays are so vast, you can keep doing it and there is no end. So better to finish other topics first and then only look at essays. Finally, to end, do LMR MCQs that you would have marked during your revisions or say final studies. Once you come back from the audit paper, obviously don't think about the paper and follow the routine. I am assuming law will be on 11th of July, but generally ICAI does give 2 days gap for law. So if that happens, so exam would be on 12th of July, and so you adjust the topics and spread them. On 9th, you can complete SEBI and SEBI LODR. Also, you can do Money Laundering Act. Afterwards, have a look at drafting of notices, resolutions, minutes and reports. So that is company secretarial part. And one chapter of company law, which is compounding of offences, adjudication and special courts. You can do this either on 9th or maybe the next day. That depends on how much time you have left. And the reason of doing LODR on the same day as audit is because you would have already studied in audit, it would be easier to study in law as well. Prevention of Money Laundering Act is an important topic and most likely you will get one question from this chapter. On 10th morning, first start with Board of Director related chapters, which are chapter 1, 2 and 3 of SM. Follow it up with foreign companies and NCLT and Appellate Tribunal. So you can expect one question from one of these two chapters, foreign companies and NCLT. Afterwards, complete all the company law related chapters So right from inspection, inquiry and investigation till say producer companies. So this entire day is completely dedicated to company law. So on the exam day morning, first start with IBC, and you would know this is a very important topic. Follow it up with other economic laws like FEMA, SURFACE, Arbitration and Conciliation Act, FCRA, SCRA, and afterwards you can do the miscellaneous provisions in the company law. At last, have a look at LMR MCQs, which we have marked. Once you come back from the law paper, follow the routine. I am assuming that SCMP will be on 13th of July. So on 11th, you can start with SM chapter 7, which is pricing decision. And then you can take small chapters such as chapter 1, which has value chain analysis. Porter's 5 force analysis is most important in that chapter. And afterwards do chapter 5, which has cost management for power, agri and IT sector. Not very important, but you can give a 15 to 20 minutes read for that. On 12th morning, start with chapter 6, decision making. And one thing I would want to say regarding SCMP is that all case study questions should be done along with questions of that chapter. So if there are case study questions related to this chapter, do them while revising this chapter and not towards the end, all of them together. Don't make khichdi. So make sure you have marked which case study belongs to which chapter. Next, do chapters 2, 3 and 4. They have many practical questions as well as they carry many case study questions as well. To end the day, you can do budgetary control. On exam day, start with chapter 8, then do standard costing and transfer pricing. Afterwards, do chapter 10, and finally, if there are any case studies which are remaining, which are not covered in any of the chapters, do that. Make sure you cover all the case studies which are given by ICAI, either in chapter 13 of the module or in case study digest which they have uploaded on the BOS portal. Finally, look at the LMR questions and any important points you would have highlighted to be seen just before entering the exam hall. Then paper 6, it's an elective subject. So one word answer would be depends on which subject you would have chosen. I'm assuming ICI would give say 2 days for elective paper. So paper would be on 16th July. If that's the case, after coming from SCMP exam, study for paper 7 DT in those 3 hours, and also next day morning, as you know DT is quite vast, and but make sure that you feel that you can complete elective in the 2 days part. So you can cover DT till morning and afterwards start studying for the elective paper. Elective will be of 4 hours, and so once you come back home, you will have less time to study for DT than you normally have. So, but you still try to do at least 2 hours. I'm assuming DT will happen on 18th July, and I'm mentioning the topic names for now. You match it with what is given in the book which you are referring, as every different book will have different index and topic headings. So you can first start with basic concepts, which includes tax rates, marginal relief, etc. Then do capital gains, FOs and salary. Remember, capital gains is very, very important for finance. Salary isn't important. Just have a basic knowledge of standard deduction, HRA, exemption limits, pension limits. Don't waste time on perquisite valuations in salary. Now, you don't actually have a particular sequence to follow in DT and IDT because you have to cover almost all the topics and all of them are independent. So what I have done is listed the important topics that you should start covering first from on 17th morning. So you can start with advanced tax, TDS and TCS. So that's the recovery of taxes, MAT and AMT, taxation of partnership firms. Then some special sections like capital gains from stock market dealings, special rates of taxes. You can do PGBP head, follow it up with say 269 SSST and 269T. Assessment of trust is very important, and one question does come from that chapter. Next, do IT authorities, so their powers, and after that, do the entire litigation part. By the time you complete these topics, I'm sure most of your day would be gone. If not, then you can start doing other small topics as well. One important point regarding PGBP, it is not that important as it used to be for intermediate, but still questions are asked. So make sure you do at least the ones which are very important. On the exam day, first do the entire international tax part. It has 30 marks weightage, so do it nicely. Then do remaining DT topics, and finally you can end with deductions and penalties. Amendments are most important in DT, in fact, in any subject. Have a glance through them at the end. Do LMR MCQs and case laws just before going to the examination center. So I'm assuming that IDT will happen on 20th July, and as I said, there's no actually a sequence that can be followed for IDT also. So first, what you can do is start with basics of GST on 18th. So you have 3 hours to study. So cover basics, supply and charge of GST. Next, on 19th, try to complete the entire GST section. You will have 16 hours to study, and you can cover everything. Just you can skip the exemptions in the GST part, and I'll tell you the reason why. On the exam day, do customs and FTP first, and then do exemptions under GST. Reason for doing exemptions in the last is that you will remember it much better if you have done it just few hours before the exam. And second, it is because it is so vast, like you can give 5 hours to it and but still not complete each and every exemption. So depending on what time you have left, you can decide how many exemptions you want to revise. At the end, do LMR MCQs and case laws in case you have marked. And so that's the study sequence for exams, which you can also use at the time of final revision as well. If you have already decided on what sequence you are going to follow, don't change your strategy. This was the sequence which I personally followed, and it was really helpful to me. In the end, I would like to say, focus on the input. It's controllable and it's in your hands, and don't worry about the output. Let me know if these points helped you and any additional points you feel are important by commenting below. Don't forget to hit the like button and also share this with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks. All the best for exams. Do well. Don't panic. See you next time. Until then, goodbye. Take care.